This is an honor, a privilege. I'm so happy to have this redhead sitting in the studios of Fever 104 FM. Actor, host, and MC. Is India's drag queen. So very multi-talented, TEDx speaker as well, and the queen of sass.
Yes.
None other than Maya, the drag queen, aka Alex Matthew. Welcome to Fever 104 FM. It's so nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much, SRIRAM. I'm so happy that I'm back. It's not the first time that I'm coming here, but I'm glad I'm back.
I am extremely delighted. You're looking so very beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Very, very nicely done up. Makeup as well. This is a lot of labor of love, and it doesn't happen easily.
So it's come to a point where I need at least minimum half an hour to 1 hour to maybe, if you're giving me a lot of time, I've taken like 2 hours to get ready. So I'm here because I'm like, let's talk about drag, let's talk about the community, let's talk about the LGBT community, and let's educate people about the community and where it lies. Yeah.
That's fantastic, and you're such a role model example as well. You are one of the most popular Indian drag queens out there. People line up for autographs, and you are such a queen when it comes to the drag culture and how it's taking over in a rightful manner as well. So let's talk about drag culture, Maya. What is drag culture, and to the uninitiated, what is a drag queen? Okay. Who is a drag queen?
So I'll start off with what is drag, basically. So drag is an art form where a person dresses up as the opposite sex for entertainment purposes. That is as stage or theater or in a nightclub, So it's just to entertain people, period. Now, in terms of drag queen, is a man who dresses up as a woman for stage and entertainment purposes. So ultimately, I am a drag queen. I identify myself as a cis queer man, and that's about it. Drag culture is basically a lot of people coming together and appreciating drag as an art form, basically supporting drag queens and drag kings, and actually saying that, hey, we support your art form. Now coming to like our traditional format, like drag queens and drag kings have been there for centuries altogether. Because if you look at our traditional art forms, like from my state, that is Kerala, Kathakali is actually where the men used to dress up as women, because women were not allowed to perform back in that day. So drag queens has been around. People have just not put a name to or a label to it. So this is in short about drag culture and being a drag queen.
That's amazing. So let's talk about how you started to embrace the culture as such. What was the moment when you decided to go, you know what, this is me. I'm going to dress up and I'm going to embrace Maya. I am Alex. My parents gave me the name of Alex Matthew, but Maya is who I prefer to be. When did you start embracing the drag culture?
So, theatre brought me to drag culture. I owe it to the theatre community in Bangalore. So, I started performing in theatre way back in 2013 when I came to Bangalore. And it was not easy to come into the Bangalore theatre frontier because you were not born and brought up here. Because a lot of people don't know you and they don't know what you're going to bring. So I heard a lot of negatives that was coming to me whenever I was attending auditions. So the first thing I heard was, oh, you've got a very thick Mallu accent. I would like to neutralize your accent. Then the other thing is you've got a very feminine quality, and that's something which won't go well with the main lead, which is of being a male, a hero, whoever it is. So I was like, listen, I'm hearing a lot of people giving me all these feedback. I'm like, why can't I just do my own thing? And that is when I started researching. And my form of researching is going to internet, going and watching movies. And the movie that I came across was Mrs. Doubtfire.
Robin Williams.
So I was like, if Robin Williams can do drag, I can do drag too. And with that, I wanted to incorporate whatever negatives people were throwing at me and make it my own positives. And that is when I brought in this Malayali woman who shifted from Kuttanad, Kerala to Bangalore to live with the love of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And till this date, a lot of people think I'm married, I'm settled with love of my life. That is just a background story. I think I fooled a lot of people in believing into that story. So this is how I started, and also the other support that I got, greatly and immensely, is from the LGBT community of Bangalore, and they were ready to stand by me and support me for my journey throughout this whole career, basically, as a drag queen. So
lovely. Huge shout out going out to the LGBTQ community of Bangalore, and forever we would like to support. And I'd say Bangalore is a place which lets everyone be, and that's how it needs to be. No judgment, no pointing fingers, and let everyone be, find their space.
Exactly.
That's how it needs to be. However, I feel we as Indians, we can come across as very insensitive. We can say very unparliamentary stuff without even knowing that we are saying something wrong. Like, for example, my own grandmother may say, "You're so dusky." And sometimes we identify Northeastern people as Chinese,
Right.
which is so wrong in a way. I'm sure you've had plenty of reactions that you've had to deal with.
Right.
How have you dealt with it, and what are some of the things that you usually hear in the side of your ear?
So I have till date relatives actually talking to my mother and saying, "Oh my God, your son has some problem." And my mother's like, "I don't see any problem in him. So I don't know why you're just calling me." And
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
great.
Exactly. So my mother is like the biggest supporter. But eventually, initially when she started seeing these pictures, she was not aware of what this is. So she used to call me, shout at me, all of that used to happen. But it was all those insecurities fed by the relatives to her. And that is something, like, if you are being insecure, just shut up about it. Don't go around spreading about it, or go around talking about it. Also, like, I've heard a lot of things. A lot of people are, think the beauty of me is that I'm 6 foot. Nobody has the guts to come near my face and tell me stuff, because they know if I just hit them with my leg, they're going to fly. So I don't think they've got the guts to come near me. It's always either through another person or through online. And I'm like, see, I practice these 4 things in online. I ignore, delete, block, and just restrict those asses. So basically, that's what I do.
Right.
So these are the things which I initially, like, I think I've told you before as well, when I was doing drag, I used to wonder, why are these people staring at me? What is wrong with me? To a point where I'm like, are they jobless? They have to just keep staring at me. They can come and talk to me. They can understand me. To a point where I don't care. I've come to do something here. I'm just going to do this and walk off. Be it a performance, be it a video shooting or a shoot, like a picture photo shoot or whatever, and just walk off. That's what I do. So I think it's also, how you mature yourself as a professional. And at the end of the day, Maya, the drag queen, is always a professional.
Yeah, that's great to hear. You're so right. When even on the internet, right? If you put up a video, you'll find close to about 1,000 comments. All of them may be appreciative of you, but if that one comment says something negative, it just hurts you.
Right.
Dwell in it, soak it in,
Right.
but a true professional, after a while, just stops caring about it and just moves on.
Right.
Do what you have to do,
Right.
and you are set on a path which is way bigger than dealing with a few comments here and there.
Exactly.
Well done. I want to speak to you about inclusivity, right? Let's talk about inclusivity, and what are the things that you noticed once you transformed as Maya? Did you feel the power equation change all of a sudden? There may be moments where you feel, wow, this is power. Or there may be moments when you felt, so this is what it feels like to be on the other side.
Right. See, like, I think before Maya as Alex, a lot of people in the community, especially gay men, saw me as this very, oh my God, this hot guy holding guitar, singing, or performing on stage, and they were cool with it. They were okay with it. All these gay men were fine with it. The moment I started dressing up as Maya, moment I started dressing up in a sari, where that is the time when they chose to like cut me off, not talk to me, spread rumors about me, and I'm like, this is not even the right thing. The power I realized, I think, was when women were my biggest supporters. Like, they come to my performances, they're like, oh my god, I'm a big fan of you, I would like to support you. I mean, even if you look at my Instagram audience, it's like, 50% is women, 50% is men.
Right here at the radio station. So we have Sara, your biggest fan. As soon as she walked in, she's like, I so want to meet her because I follow her on Instagram.
Right. So they are like my biggest supporters, and I keep telling people that the LGBT rights and women rights go hand in hand. So I saw that the power equation shifted, and also at the same time I saw femme gay men who were trying to be very macho, be very masculine, saw me going to places dressing up as Maya, and they were like, hey, if Maya can do this, I can do it too. And that is like a great way to inspire people to be themselves. Like, for example, when I was working with Kitiko in Lalit, this is the first few nights, so I saw one guy who actually dressed in like a shirt and jeans and walking into the club, and he's like, oh, you're dressed up in sari. And it's like, yeah, you can dress up as any way you want, is what I said.
Right.
And till date, I've seen that person dressing up and coming to the parties.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, okay, if I could change one person, that is good enough for me.
Yeah.
So that's something which I and also, if I lose the gay men, I have the bisexual men ready to actually praise me, because they kind of like, when they see me, they don't know how to react. They're just dumbfounded, or they don't know how to react. They look at me like that. So this is how the power equation shifted. But at the same time, I feel little sad that those friends who I had really great connection with are no longer my friends. But that's life, to be honest.
Yeah, that is life. Once you set your eyes on a path and you know that you are leading the bigger cause as such, people come and go sometimes, and that's when you really know who's there for you, who's supporting you one way or another. So you're only going from strength to strength as long as you know very well what you're doing.
Exactly.
And we definitely are rooting for you in every way possible.
Thank you.
Maya.
Thank you so much.
What would be the ideal world? What is your request to people? There may be people who can't fathom the fact that somebody is living their mind and living their expression the way they want to. Everyone is so bound by the society, and this is how it needs to be. It needs to be black or white. There is nothing else beyond that. How exactly would you want to convey the message, apart from doing everything that you're doing? But what is your request to people?
My kind of ideal world is when I can walk out of my house as a drag queen, like full-fledged, full makeup, full-blown hair and all of that, and nobody's going to stop me. Nobody's going to judge me from the time I step out of my doorstep to getting into a nightclub or for a photo shoot or a video shoot or wherever I'm performing. Nobody's there to judge me. And that is there. So there are places like that abroad, but that is something which I would love to see at some point in India. I don't know when that is, but that is, see, like, for instance, when we met in the mall, I'm pretty sure you saw a lot of people just stop and stare at me. There's no need. There's actually no need to stop and stare. It's a person. You see a person, that's it. That's the thing. So
why not a hi? Why not a greeting?
Or you look beautiful.
Yeah,
compliment.
that would be positive, rather than just straight
staring.
up ogle.
Staring. And that's not a good thing. Now do you realize why some women, I mean almost the women, they get scared to go in such public places because they get stared and they get ogled at? So the same thing what I'm also going through. And I've come to a point where I block out those people. Like, I don't look at them. I don't engage with them. I do my thing and I come out. That's what I do. So what I would love to tell people to actually start practicing is listen to us, listen to our stories, empower us. Right now, what you're doing, you're empowering me. You are actually sharing my story, my life journey to your listeners, and that is amazing. So that a lot of people can actually support other people as well from the community.
Absolutely.
It's not just me, just because I'm famous. Don't just support only me. Support, even if you meet a gay person or a lesbian person or a trans woman or trans man or a gender fluid person, go and give them a hug and say you are a great ally, even if you're straight, that sort of thing. So that is the first step they need to take.
I do feel that there is a shift happening. Lots of brands are opening up their minds and their doors to associate. What about corporate culture? Is finding jobs easy? Is there embracement as such that's happening overall in the larger scheme of things?
So when I started, I think I've lost like a couple of jobs. There was one interview of an NGO that I went, and it was dealing with recruitment of students to actually deal with social causes. So I had to go to colleges and recruit students. And that's a great job. I'm like going to colleges and actually convincing students to actually join social causes is a great thing altogether. But there was prejudice when I was going for interview, because one of my friend who referred said openly that I'm a queer person and I perform as a drag queen. The interviewer chose to say, okay, he's not going to be great in this job
Without meeting you,
without meeting me,
understanding
me, without
you
seeing
are
my
as a
skill
person.
set, without putting me, okay, let me put him for 3 months and see how it works. So like when I heard this, I was literally shattered. Like, I'm like, how can someone without meeting me come to that conclusion? Eventually I left the job. I think I got for 3 months, and then I'm like, you know what, this is not my thing. But I happened to meet her again in Mumbai, and I was with an NGO that supported me for who I am. I had that NGO boss actually come and watch me perform.
Nice.
So it was a big circle moment when that
they lost out on a great employee.
Exactly. So I meet the person who actually put me down, and she's like, oh, so what are you doing? And I say, I'm working for another NGO who's ready to support me the way I am, and they just walk off.
What a moment.
Yeah.
So don't judge the book by the cover. At least meet
and talk.
Normalize talking.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even when I was working with Lalit Ashok, they Mr. Keshav Suri actually told me, listen, if you want to come 7 days a week, dress as Maya, I'm open to it. So imagine coming from all those years of me being rejected, me being told to leave the company just because of my identity, to a point where they say, we are okay for you to be yourself. That is something which I think it was like a full circle moment for me.
If there is anyone who is undergoing a bit of a crisis in identifying themselves, individuality, what would you like to say?
What I would like to tell them is be strong, and for the fact that you would be going through a lot of mental health problems, because you will be fighting with yourself, and at the same time there'll be a lot of people putting all these weird ass ideas on your head. So what you need to do is just listen to yourself, be strong, and at the same time stick to your guns. Basically, like what I did was I just be confident with myself. Like I was like, I am a drag queen and I'm going to remain as a drag queen. That's what I kept saying. So, and also just if you need family, and that means your own family is discouraged you or ostracized you, there is always another family waiting for you, and that is the LGBT community. They are ready to receive you, they're ready to support you, and also allies like the straight people who are ready to support you at the same time. So look at them as family. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
You can, of course, reach out to Maya Alex Matthew on Instagram. Maya, the drag queen. You're blowing up on Instagram, on social media for the kind of content that you put up as well. So keep up the good job and
Thank you.
keep growing from strength to strength. And we look forward to be there to take your autograph, to say that, hey, we know Maya and we're always here as cheerleaders for you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
The radio station is always open. Whenever you feel like grabbing a cup of coffee, whenever you want to talk about anything, we'd be more than happy to host you here
Sure.
at any time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sriram.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to never miss a video from Fever FM.